What's going on, family? I'm Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. I want to continue to examine 100 years of World Championship fights. Can you believe we're halfway through this series? I want to give a special salute to Hank Aaron. Passed away today. One of the greatest home run hitters all of baseball. I remember watching Hank Aaron play for the Atlanta Braves. Watch film of Hank Aaron. Catch a ball, throw it back infield. Hat flying in one direction. Him falling in the opposite direction. Remember saying when I was a young man, whatever field I decide to get myself into, I want to be like Hank Aaron. Covering all four corners of the square circle. From history, research, studying the game inside and out. That's one of the reasons why I do this series. Between January 6, 1947 and December 20th, 1947. Some great championship fights that year. How Dad defeats Manuel Ortiz, 15 rounds, San Francisco, California, and he would become world bantamweight champion in his division. Now, How Dad is to your left. Manuel Ortiz is to your right. Manuel Ortiz would defeat Lou Salica, who would participate in the 1932 Olympic Games as an amateur. He would turn out to be a fine champion. But Howard Dad would defeat Manuel Ortiz. January 6, 1947. What an accomplishment that was. June 6, 1947. Camden's Jersey Joe Walcott defeats Joey Maxim, 10 rounds, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Jersey Joe Walcott would become the world heavyweight champion, 1951, when he knocks out Ezra Charles in 7 rounds in Pennsylvania. Joey Maxim would also become champion in the light heavyweight division. But he would lose in 1952. Archie Moore. And he would defeat Ray Robinson, 1951, New York Yankee Stadium. Robinson couldn't complete the 14th round. We'll get to that fight in 51. Jersey Joe Walcott would be on his way and facing Joe Louis later that year. We'll take a look at that fight with Joe Louis and Jersey Joe Walcott 2, 1948. June 8th, 1947. Featherweight champion Willie Pep suffers a broken leg and a broken vertebrae. New Jersey plane crash. 3 passengers died, as well as the air pilot. Willie Pep would survive. June 17th. Willie Pep would defeat Victor Flores, 10 rounds, after suffering severe injuries from that plane crash. And he would eventually become the featherweight champion of the world with a defeat Sandy Sadler. Remarkable career. Willie Pep would have. Go one full round against Jackie Graves. Never throwing a punch. It was zig and zag. Dipsy doodle. Faint. And win the round. Willie Pep began his career, 1940. He would eventually lose a 62-0 winning streak Sammy ain't got. But he would fight them all. Willie Pep, January 8th, 1947. Great fighter. February 2nd, 1947, Marcel Cerdan wins the vacant European middleweight championship belt. And Marcel Cerdan would eventually defeat Tony Zale. He would stop him in New Jersey. Referee would be Paul Cavalier. We'll get to that fight in a moment. Marcel Cerdan would face Jake LaMotta. Controversy surrounding that fight. February 28th, light heavyweight champion Gus Lesnovich knocks out Blackjack Billy Fox of Philadelphia, 10 rounds. And Gus Lesnovich would remain the light heavyweight champion of the world. Now, Billy Fox is to your right, and Gus Lesnovich is to your left. Billy Fox was suspected of being involved in a fixed fight with Jake LaMotta, New York's Madison Square Garden. And LaMotta was alleged to take a dive in the 4th round. Billy Fox was a knockout machine. But he was alleged been involved in fixed fights. Gus Lesnovich never gave shots to fighters such as Jimmy Bivens, Eddie Charles, Archie Moore. He would face Joe Walcott. He sparred many rounds. But these two men would face each other on and out of February 28th, 1947. March 11th, 1947. Manuel Ortiz defeats Harold Dadd 15 rounds and regains his World Bantamweight Championship crown. March 17th, 1947, Rocky Marciano makes his professional debut. Knocks out Lee Epperson, 3 rounds. In Hockey, Massachusetts. Rocky Marciano, the Brockton Blockbuster, will become the World Heavyweight Champion. 1952 when he knocks out Jersey Joe Walcott. He would upset Joe Louis, 1950, Yankee Stadium. It was Madison Square Garden, 8th round. Rocky Marciano would knock out Joe Louis in Madison Square Garden in the 8th round. And he would retire him. 1951. March 28, 1947, Marcel Cerdan knocks out Harold Green, 2 rounds, New York's Madison Square Garden. What an impressive victory for Marcel Cerdan. July 12th, 1948. Beau is KO'd by Ike Williams in 6 rounds, scheduled for 15, at the Philadelphia Shrine Park in Pennsylvania. And the referee, Charlie Doggett, scored it 2-2 and 1 even before stopping the beating and slaughter 33 seconds into the 6th round. Judge Harry Lasky had a 3-2 for Jack, and Frank Nagasbauer had a 3-2 to Williams. Beau shot a bolo punch and uplifted the root of the front side tooth of Ike Williams. 5th round. And this agitated Ike Williams, because Ike Williams was a sport. Loved to dress in 3-piece suits, pocket watch, fedora hats, wingtip shoes. And now his tooth is missing because of Bojack's bolo punch. Wasn't going to happen. So Ike would stagger Bojack with straight punches towards the end of round 5. And at the start of round 6, Ike came straight out to Bojack, put him on the ropes, unleashed an unbelievable 48 punch combination, all unanswered. See, Bojack stood 5'6". He weighed 134 pounds. He had a 68.5-inch reach. Had a record coming into that bout of 73 fights, 12 losses, 4 draws, and 38 knockouts. Ike Williams stood 5'9", weighed 135 pounds, and had a 68-inch reach. He had a record of 93 wins, 10 losses, 4 draws, and 45 knockouts. Now these men would face each other 4 times. Williams would win 3. Jack didn't win any fights when they had 1 draw. The last fight was 1955, and they would both retire. Ike Williams, his name was Isaiah Williams, called him the Trenton Thunder. He was born August 2nd, 1923 in Brunswick, Georgia. He died September 5th, 1994, 71 years of age at the time of his death. He resided in Trenton, New Jersey. Ike Williams fought from 1940 to 1955. Had a total bout career of 154 fights, 126 wins, 24 losses, and 61 knockouts with 4 draws. Ike Williams would be in the ring with fighters such as Bob Montgomery. He would defeat Juan Zarita, 1944. 2 rounds in Mexico City. He would become the NBA lightweight champion of the world. Be in the ring with Joe Maselli, Sammy Ingot, Freddie Dawson, and Luther Slugger White. Rob Zanelli, Enrique Bolaños fought him 3 times. Very controversial fights they were. Cleo Shane and Lulu Castellino. Gene Burden. Be in the ring with Jet Black, Vic Cardell, Chuck Davey and Don Williams, Rudy Cruz, Jimmy Carter, Sonny Boy West, Lester Felton, Joe Maselli, Chippy Larkin, Kid Gavilan, who he would defeat. He had an unbelievable fight with Johnny Bratton. Johnny Bratton would fight 9 rounds with a broken jaw. Remarkable career, like Williams would have. But I mentioned he fought Lester Felton. Let me tell you about Lester Felton. Lester Felton was something else. He was born in Detroit, March 6, 1929. He had a total bout career, 79 fights, 59 wins, 17 losses. He stood 5'8". He was a welterweight. He was in the ring with fighters such as Del Flanagan and Luther Rawlings, Bobby Dykes. Oh boy, what a good fighter Lester Felton was. Be in the ring with Georgie Benton and Holy Mims. Now as for Bojack, his name was Sidney Walker. I call him the Southern Shoeshine Boy. He was born April 1st, 1921, Augusta, Georgia. Died February 9th, 2000 in Augusta, Georgia. He was 78 years of age at the time of his death. Fought from 1939 to 1955. I call him a 1940s fighter. And I'll explain to you in a moment what that means. Had a total bout career of 122 bouts. 91 wins, 24 losses, 44 knockouts, and he was stopped 4 times. Now, he was a caddy for Bobby Jones, golf caddy. And he would relocate to Holyoke, Massachusetts. And that's where Rocky Marciano would have his debut. Bojack fought blindfolded in battle royales. He had 21 main event fights in New York's Madison Square Garden. 1943 being in the ring with Henry Armstrong. He'd have a fight with Gil Turner, a phenomenal Philadelphia fighter. Terry Larkin, who he would defeat and become a world champion. Bob Montgomery would switch back and forth the championship. Be inducted in the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame in 1979. International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1991. Ike Williams would be inducted the Ring Boxing Hall of Fame in 1978. World Boxing Hall of Fame in 1983. And the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 1990. He would have a gym named after him in Trenton. And he would be in the ring with fighters such as Willie Joyce, Lou Jenkins, Tony Gennaro, Fitzy Zivitt, Juan Jarita, Bobby Ruffin, Kid Gavilan, Willie Joyce. Phenomenal fighter Ike Williams was. Met both these young men. Great fighters they were. Had great conversations with both Bojack and Ike Williams. Let's take a look at that horrifying fight that took place between Ike Williams and Bojack, July 12th, 1948.
Down for round 1 in the lighter trunks. The challenger, Bojack, is wearing the black trunks with the white stripe. Ike Williams, with back to camera, won the world lightweight title in 1947, just last year, when he KO'd Bob Montgomery in Philadelphia. The champion has defended the world lightweight title once. Ike took a unanimous 15-round decision over Enrique Bolanos just 6 weeks ago in Los Angeles. Bojack, here forcing the action in round 1, tying up Williams, won the lightweight title in 1942, 6 years ago, when he KO'd Tippy Larkin in New York. Beau then lost the world lightweight title to Bob Montgomery in 1943, and then regained it once again 4 months later in a 15-round decision. Bojack, to the left of your screen, can bomb with both hands. Champion Ike Williams is known as a boxer-puncher. Williams, with back to camera, has a crisp left jab. Both fighters throwing ripping punches here in round 1. Jack throwing bombs. And there's the end of round one.